Oh yeah. Today's beatbox tutorial. I'm going to explain to y'all the rationale and the reason why beatboxers nowadays learning lip rolls on both sides is going to be the meta. And disclaimer, like literal disclaimer, talk to your orthodontist, to your dentist about your teeth because lip rolls literally shift your teeth. So, what I mean by that, I've done so many lip rolls on the left side of my mouth that my the space between my molars has increased. Like your teeth are supposed to be together like this, right? And even on the right side of my mouth. So on both sides of my molars, right? On the left side of my molars and the right side of my molars, I've done so many lip rolls in my lifetime that the space between my left side lip roll, my left side molars is like this now. Like your teeth are supposed to be like this. But because I've done so many lip rolls, there's literally like a space between my teeth and my molars. Same thing on the right side. I've done so many lip rolls on the right side and the left side. I've just done so many lip rolls, period, that the space between my molars is there now. So again, talk to your dentist, talk to your orthodontist, tell them, yo, I'm doing this. Look at my teeth. Are they healthy? That's your number one priority in beatboxing is making sure your teeth, your jaw, your vocal base, your vocal box, everything's healthy, right? So talk to your orthodontist, talk to your dentist about beatboxing, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna talk about how to incorporate and learn lip rolls on both sides. So how I learned how to do lip rolls on both sides was I would just train both sides equally. So if I did, after that I would just go. So I would do the training on both sides. So if I was doing even doing side lip oscillations, so I would do on left side as well. And then if I do inward lip rolls where I'm inhaling, I'm doing the same on the left side. And then there's a beat that I do, like an electro type beat, where it goes. So the reason why learning lip rolls on both sides is going to be the meta is because there are noises that you have to move your jaw around. So if any of you know this combination of sounds that go, and then another sound where you do the meow squeak, and you're going, and then you can learn vortex whistles on both sides. So by you learning how to do lip rolls on both sides, it unlocks the world to so many different variations, right? So there are variations for when you do crunch snare rolls. Learning it on both sides is helpful because what happens is over time you build the muscles insanely on both sides that when you do the inward, when you do the crunch snare in the middle, you've built up the muscle so much that it's accessible even in the middle, right? And then also too, there's this sound I do a lot. I can do on both sides, even teeth lip rolls. I can do on both sides. So the reason why I'm teaching y'all and explaining to y'all the importance of learning how to do lip rolls on both sides is because the most important thing is your face will be more symmetrical. Okay? Nowadays, there are some beatboxers that do lip rolls so much that when they talk, their jaw is like this because they go so much that when they talk, their jaw's like this. There are some beatboxers that do lip rolls so much on their left side that when they talk, it goes like this. So this is super important, is so your face stays symmetrical, okay? So this is how these things compound. Because when you learn how to do lip rolls on both sides, now you can learn how to do teeth lip rolls on both sides. You can do lip oscillations on both sides. You can do the crunch snare rolls. You can also learn how to do vortex whistle on both sides. And then over time, you can learn how to do different variations of like reverse using the tongue. So, right? So, right? And then you can learn how to do the meow squeak while moving your jaw. And then also what you can learn how to do is so and then eventually you can master my special technique. So when I learned how to do lip rolls on both sides, I was also developing inward K snare on both sides. So there's different variations, right? For when you do K snares, there's the middle, see like this. There's the side, and then the other side. And I was like, the suction and alternating makes it available to do multiple K snares. So you can do right? And then to level up even further is wobbling your head. So if you stick your tongue out a certain amount and you do the inward K snare, you can sustain doing the inward K snare while wobbling your head, and you get this effect. So in a halftime beat, you wobbling your head creates that effect. Right, and you can time it. If I go slower, so I can do the variation of techniques without wobbling my head. And I'm gonna get. Now at the same pace, if I wobble my head a little slower, that's where I get a little slower tempo. If I speed it up, I can do a little faster tempo. Right? And so the reason why this technique, in my opinion, is really fun is because you can use it as a build-up and a crescendo. Right? So instead of I'm gonna go And so everything works in harmony. Why? Because now instead of directionally left and right, or which side do I choose to do my sounds on in terms of lip rolls, the hi-hat, right, the meow squeak, the doing the trumpet, the vortex whistle, and so many other variations that I mentioned earlier. What I want to explain to y'all now is the direction from top and bottom. So let me explain. There are sounds that you can do with the tongue out on the top lip and then with the tongue out on the bottom lip. So lip oscillations, I call them tongue oscillations. So tongue oscillations, what you can do is stick your tongue out and focus the air underneath. So the air is going to come out underneath my tongue. You can do a scale. And then you focus the air on the top, you get, and you can do like an arpeggio. So the reason why, in terms of being holistic, and as I push the boundaries as a professional beatboxer, what you want to understand is every time you do different variations, it makes your core sounds that much stronger. So let me give you an example. I can also do post snare on the top lip. It's like this. So my tongue's like this. I can do post snare with my tongue on the bottom like this. The reason why learning the different variations is because it makes your core arsenal as a professional beatboxer that much stronger. So in terms of core arsenal, right, you could say my core arsenal of inward case snares in the middle. So by me training, I'm mastering that noise is gonna make my inward case snare in the middle that much stronger. Then when I go, that's gonna make my side case snares that much stronger. So you're gonna push the boundaries of your noises, and then when you go back to your core sounds, they're that much easier. So for example, if you're going, finally when you just do lip rolls, because you've done so many variations on the right side, it makes those sounds much more accessible because you trained in a huge variety of one core arsenal. Then you can apply the same ideology to your opposite side or to the left side. So if I'm gonna go, I'm also gonna go. This way, holistically, I'm training as much of the vocal box and as much of the muscular skeletal system as I can. Then over time, as a professional beatboxer, what you realize is combining all of these variations is super crucial. Why? Because at any given moment, I have to do specific noises. I need to do anything that is accessible. So if I'm doing a lot of inward click rolls where I go, rather than having to go and then doing the post snare on the bottom, so because the inward click roll, the tongue's on the top. So rather than having to do or I have to make the tongue be up here and then post scratch on the bottom, post snare on the bottom. Versus if I keep my post snare on the top, I can go right? Another variation is having your tongue out. So if I'm gonna go, right? Rather than having to, why don't I just move my tongue over and I'm gonna go, right? Even the meow squeak and the trumpet sound, we're gonna go. The reason why you have to, the reason why incorporating variations is super crucial is because now at any given moment, any noise and any sound that I need is accessible. So then that way I don't have to move my entire vocal box to achieve that noise. Does that make sense? So, for example, if I'm doing, that's easier than having to go, or I have to move the lip oscillation into the middle, right? And there are different opportunities for tonality where I understand the variations is crucial. Because if I'm going, that's all in the middle. Versus if I was doing a lot of sides on this side, that keeps the accessibility of those noises, so then that way they're accessible as soon as I think them. And what happens with professional beatboxers and beatboxing as an evolution, as you evolve as a beatboxer, what ends up happening is the vocal box moves faster than our brain can comprehend, right? Because if I'm going unconsciously, I'm not thinking, okay, TK, 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 okay, put a snare here, okay, da da da. Consciously, my brain cannot keep up. So unconsciously, I'm just going. Consciously, I'm not able to think, okay, post snare here, okay, inward click roll here, okay, split snare here, okay, crunch snare here. So what ends up happening is as you evolve as a beatboxer and you get to the higher and higher and higher and highest possible potential and peak performance, and you keep leveling up higher and higher levels of beatboxing, right? The vocal box is moving faster than your brain can consciously keep up. So if that's the case, having the arsenal be as packed full and as goaded as you possibly can be, learning the variations I call in a 360 formation, right? You're learning the variations of your entire vocal box, the 360 map, right? You have this entire vocal box here. What ends up happening is you are able to at any moment access noises that your vocal box is working to create the music, working to pronounce, working to create, working to, in a sense, languageize, right? Because beatbox is a languageize, right? Music in a sense that your vocal box is moving faster than your brain can consciously keep up. The next thing I want to talk about is basses using your throat. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, right? Many different basses and many different vocal bases. So the reason why learning how to do every single vocal bass and all the different variations is super crucial is because over time you can add your lips on top of it. So if I'm doing vocal bass, whoa, 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 I'm gonna add my lip oscillation on top of it. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. What that's gonna create is more resistance. So if I'm adding more resistance to my vocal bass, do 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 do. When I do vocal bass on its own, it's much more powerful. Oh 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 oh, do 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 do, do 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 do. Oh, oh wow 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 wow, wow 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 wow. Right, and you get a very dark tonality, which is super crucial for the style of music you want to create. Right? Then you have chest bass that goes whoa, whoa, and that even I can add lip bass to that. Excuse me. And so, over time, as a beatboxer, because you're adding resistance, because you're adding different variations, everything in your arsenal becomes goaded. You become impeccable, unstoppable. Then there's also inward bass. So how you can train inward bass in my evolution is adding inward sounds and lip rolls, because you're suctioning air that focuses the inward bass much more powerful. So on days where it's hard for me to go, what I'll do is I'll add a lip roll, and I'll go, okay, that feeling. Now let me do it without the lip roll. So then I'm adding more resistance to make the sound harder. So then when I do the sound on its own, it's much more accessible. Then what I can also do is do my high inward bass. Same ideology. You add resistance, more suction, more focus, and then do it on its own. Then also too, adding inward click rolls to your inward bass. Right? It adds like a dark tone to it. So, everyone, this is a very fat video, a very fat beatbox video. I had only one blooper. It was me spitting when doing this. But no one can clown me because I turned comments off. So, mentally clown me for that. But then again, no one watches my videos. So, in actuality, it's just myself clowning myself. So, anyways, this is for SLHCX. This is for Sean Lee. This is for myself. Boy, you are going to level up beatbox beyond realms. So everyone, SLHCX, aka Sean Lee, aka me. Enjoy this video. Watch it as many times as you want, or don't watch it. It's up to you. However you feel on any specific moment. So